Hey Jen, how's it going?
Doing well, Andrew. How are you?
Good so far, good so far. Thanks for taking the time to join me today to talk about this really interesting topic of what is going on with Gen Z in the alcohol industry.
I'm so excited to talk about this. After diving deep into all of the trends that are happening in this setting and all the nuances, just because socially, how Gen Z responds to different brands and different shifts in behavior that they're having, I think we have a really great presentation to talk about with everybody, and it's going to be really exciting, and I can't
Yeah,
wait.
definitely. First, huge thanks to everyone who's taken the time to join us. We hope you'll find this session interesting. Hopefully you'll learn something new, have some great takeaways, maybe even be inspired.
That's always the point, right?
So let's do some quick intros. For anyone who's watching that's not familiar with TLC Worldwide, we are the world's largest rewards platform driving sales, customer acquisition, engagement, and loyalty for hundreds of brands. For the last 34 years, we've been providing our clients with high-value experiential reward content. And we do this through networks of tens of thousands of partners that we've recruited. And these span all of the experiences that people love, ranging from hotel stays and live events to dining out, health and wellness, mental well-being, education, services like Uber, access to local family activities and kids' sports lessons, entertainment like streaming or movie tickets. We could even be super niche, offering things like a free manicure if that's what the demographic is passionate about. And we actually acquire these experiences from our partners for a fraction of the market cost. And we pass that savings on to our clients. So we're able to reward every consumer in the marketing programs that we run. And that could be anything from a simple gift with purchase, could be reaching a major milestone in a loyalty program, or simply for playing a game, where there's no transaction involved. And our tech actually now brings this all to life by housing the microsite platform and all of the rewards, and also providing insights back to our clients with the program data and analytics so we can optimize future campaigns. We also happen to work with a number of alcohol brands around the world, and that's helping amplify their campaigns. In some cases, it's rewarding a purchase or an engagement. We've also built games and sweepstakes, giving out like $1 million in rewards. Our clients obviously aren't spending that much money because they're working with us, and we have this really interesting reward model. But the headline is a really exciting part. So that's just a little bit on TLC. Did I miss anything, Jen?
No, nothing that I could think of. You're doing great. Can you tell he's been here over a decade? He's our TLC expert.
Feels like a lot longer. I guess for me, I oversee strategy for TLC North America, and part of that role is monitoring key trends in consumer behaviors. What motivates consumers to take actions like spend more money, try new products, engage with brands more often, but also identifying the key insights that helps TLC tailor our programs for our clients. So we can hit their key objectives, whether that's increasing sales or sell out, which is a common one in this industry, and just make sure that those brands resonate in as big as way as possible with their target demographic lives. So that's just a little bit about my role. Jen, talk about yourself a little bit.
Sure, why not? Hey, what girl doesn't like to talk about herself? So I'm Jen, like Andrew had said. I work alongside Andrew and have for almost a decade. So between the two of us, we're legal drinking age, woohoo, at TLC years. Our job is to keep a pulse on what's happening in the industry and how TLC partnerships, be it new or existing or bespoke partnerships for specific briefs, can fill a void for our clients. I also work to aggregate campaign and campaign data from our over 300 campaigns annually around the globe, so we could deepen our insights and strengthen our recommendations back to clients. And that's what I do here. So, as Andrew mentioned, we'll be going through some of the top line trends in the alcohol industry as a result of Gen Z's lifestyle preferences and the general feelings that they have about indulging in beer, wine, and spirits. This does mean some negative things for the brands, of course, and it creates challenges, but nothing that can't be overcome. For example, Gen Z might have moved away from consuming as much alcohol as millennials or Gen X like me, and opted for non-alcohol beverages, but also it's a great prime opportunity to be innovative in new ways in the category, like how Gen Z have prioritized spending on experiences over tangible goods above all. So there's a really unique opportunity to marry their preferences with your products.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely something we've been hearing a lot from our clients in the industry. Everyone seems to be expressing, their concerns with Gen Z and how they've already impacted sales, but mostly many of them are worried about the future. So today we'll go through just a handful of trends we think are very important factors at play here that are reducing Gen Z's consumption of alcohol. So we'll take a look at health and wellness, which surrounds goals for feeling better mentally and physically, innovation in terms of product, but also leveraging innovative partnerships and experiences, social media, which of course shapes the behaviors and attitudes of Gen Zers, and lastly, sustainability. We have some interesting insights there too. Of course, please feel free to send us any messages or thoughts. You can email us at hi.there@tlcworldwide.com, at the bottom left there. We're happy to provide free ideas and recommendations to help your initiatives, simply to share insights, learnings, case studies. However we can help, we'd love to hear from you. So all right, Jen, I guess
let's dive in.
We'll dive in.
Yep.
We'll start here with health and wellness.
Sounds great. So if you walk away with one thing today off of this webinar, it's the messages that health and wellness is overarching theme of how Gen Z is living their lives. It intermingles with each and every trend that we're going to present today, and everything Gen Z does is connected to their health, their relationships, their habits, their technology. We are witnessing the first true generation in a very long time that's completely united in a common mission, and that is to be well. And they are now known as Gen Well among certain, it's fine, among certain data sectors. Gen Well is wearing wearable devices. They're doing in-person health and wellness experiences, and we're going to dive in and take a look at what that looks like. So certain things to know about them. They are willing to pay a premium. Both Gen Z and Gen Y are willing to pay more for a product that aligns with their health and wellness goals. They are making informed decisions. They're ingredients watchers. They are seeking out clean products. They're seeking out ingredients, non-GMO ingredients, organic ingredients. If you highlight the health benefits, you are going to resonate with this customer. And they're also very, very, very socially active in movements. And Dry January has taken off. Even huge influencers that are known for partying and elaborate events, like an Alex Earl, still participated in Dry January to resonate with the customers, of course, for her health, but to resonate with the customers of her followers of Gen Z that are deeply passionate about just emotional well-being, because she gets messages every now and then like, girl, are you okay? Because she's always out and about. But even she realized the importance of just taking the time for a body reset. And 86% of Gen Z consumers believe that their mental health is just as important as their physical health when it comes to drinking. Yeah. So they're hyper aware of the effects and ways to combat that. So if we go to the next slide, they are the most sober generation, but they do drink. So they are consuming beer, wine, and spirits. Seltzers at a lesser degree, but they are. So if you are interested in just medical stats, the Cleveland Clinic reported years ago people who routinely turn to alcohol instead of each other in social settings to cope with stresses and anxiety of interacting with other peers. Gen Z is very social, and they are used to interacting without a crutch that maybe people growing up in the generations before. They do not have to drown their sorrows. That phrase came from drinking, their anxiety away. That's not what they're interested in. They're very open about speaking about their mental health. So if they are anxious in a situation, they just simply talk about it. They don't go to grab a drink. CBD has been a huge, huge, huge trend in this Cali sober movement. So people are sober, but the Cali sober is CBD is not included in their sober movement, which is a really growing trend. It's $1.4 billion industry right now, up from just a few years ago from 860 million. It is growing, growing, growing. And it's a quicker, so gummies were obviously popular for over a decade, but they take a little while to work, and Gen Z was maybe taking a few too many, and then it was hitting them all at once. So they realized that the CBD infused beverages, they take the same effect as alcohol to work, about 15 to 20 minutes to feel any sort of effects of the product, much quicker than a gummy or an edible.
Nice.
So they're very interested in knowing when to stop and keep themselves in check. the way to engage in the health and wellness space with Gen Z is to highlight the health benefits of your product and align with Gen Z's wellness goals. Somebody doing this so well in the market is Thrive. Thrive found a niche area. Athletes and alcohol do not mix. However, non-alcohol products are now being manufactured so that they meet the vitamin deficiencies of athletes. And so these brands are coming up with ways that people could get all of their vitamin D intake, their vitamin B intake in a non-alcoholic product that tastes like a beer. So if you're playing tennis or you're golfing, you could still drink without any of the side effects and all of the health benefits. Super interesting area that they haven't been able to play in that space before.
Yeah, it's really interesting to me, how health and wellness has become a major focus, not just for Gen Z, but for so many people. They're spending more on products that improve their health, fitness, nutrition, sleep, mindfulness. I also think that, the GLP-1 trend has definitely made it more front of mind too.
Yeah.
People
just want to be overall healthier, and anything that could assist with that. And there's almost no excuse anymore because there's so much availability that people feel the pressure to be like really getting themselves in check. Perfect for New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, and you're really, like you said, starting to see it enter in this industry. Next, we'll look at innovation as a major trend. A wave of new brands have entered the market to cater to Gen Z's lifestyles. But it's not just innovation in terms of, new products. Sure, that's a huge part of it. But there's also innovation in marketing campaigns with partnerships and experiences as well. So Gen Z have basically forced innovation from brands because of their alcohol preferences. They're not completely abstaining from alcohol, as Jen mentioned, but switching between this low or no alcohol kind of products and the full strength ABV products that, us millennials are, constantly drinking. And it's not any new news that this rise of the no or low alcohol category has probably been brought on because of Gen Z. And looking at the category, it's expected to continue to grow upwards of 30% in the next 2 years. So many new brands popping up. Meanwhile, the leading brands are also rolling out their product extensions with no or low alcohol versions as well. And then you have, like you said, the CBD, the HTC beverage, the THC beverages who have joined the scene as well. And those are becoming extremely popular with Gen Z and others, in large part, again, because consumers want to cut out those negative effects that alcohol can have. Health and wellness part, but also the hangovers that come with it. But it's interesting, a majority of these consumers are still buying regular alcohol products, 78% actually. So there's still plenty of opportunity to talk to them and incentivize a sale. The conversation just needs to be relevant to their lifestyles and providing the value that they're seeking. So big innovation for brands has been on flavor and higher price premium products. This shift has been driven primarily out of reason to still enjoy the drinking experience, but discover more tasteful drinks too. So consumers aren't having an issue with splurging or spending. It's the experience, the premium product that they're spending more on. It's really that, quality over quantity that Gen Zers are seeking. And many brands are actually innovating to meet that desire. So I wanted to share one brand that's really crushing it at innovation. That's Ritual Zero Proof. They've developed not just a really nice looking product, so like super clean label, really great branding, but a product that maintains a flavor experience of cocktails. They actually say that they're the highest rated spirit alternative in the world, but position themselves as a complete replacement for alcohol. So, you'd make your craft cocktails the same exact way, just substituting, spirits for their product. They have a replacement for tequila, whiskey, gin, rum, even an aperitif. So you can make a virgin Negroni if you want. And their whole appeal is that it's perfect if you're pregnant. It leaves you ready to conquer tomorrow. There's no hangovers. You're not adding calories and body fat. You're not making a fool of yourself at the party. It's great for mental health because alcohol, after effects are known to make people feel anxious and nervous. So it's a fabulous product. So cool. And even more interesting to a marketer, what really blows my mind is that it's just as expensive, if not more, than leading go-to spirits. So, like you said, people are spending a lot of money on Ritual products. There's even a subscribe and save option, which is interesting, but it proves that Gen Z are not looking to cut out alcohol because it's expensive. But maybe brand. What's that?
I just wanted to point one thing out that was so interesting when I saw this part of the deck. You're a new dad. You know, when I had my kids and we were in a social setting and I abstained from any kind of drinking, right away, people would say, "Are you pregnant?" And you might not be ready to, you know, talk about that yet. It might be early and you're just not ready to speak about it. This way you can have your espresso martini, walk around your drink, go home without questions until you talk about things on your terms and when you're ready to speak about, you know, announcing things. But I sound so marketing towards pregnant people. It was really an interesting take.
Yeah, so smart, because you still want to have that experience, right?
Of course. I still wanted to go out.
Exactly. And, you know, that's the innovation opportunity, in my opinion, right? It's not just a new flavor, packaging, design, but, you know, adjusting the positioning to be relevant to the consumer's lifestyles. So when I mention innovative partnerships and being relevant to consumers' lifestyles, this is a classic example I love. Southern Comfort had a need to engage with a younger audience and have a more, greater relevance in their lives. So Tidal Hi-Fi Music Streaming was a perfect partner to excite that demographic and provide a great value add with 3 months of music for free with the purchase of 1 bottle. And at TLC, you know, we leverage our partnerships like this to help our clients not just get greater visibility and increase sales, resonate better with consumers, but also these programs get, you know, they excite the trade and increase sell-in tremendously. And, you know, the same idea can actually be extended to on-premise too. So we know a lot of brands would love to have better support from hotel chains and restaurants. And this is a great way to get that because it's exciting, it's interesting, and their customers want it.
Absolutely. Social media and experiential on-premise. You had to know this was coming up when it comes to Gen Z.
Yeah.
They are attached to their phone, not that we all aren't at this point. I mean, I hate to single them out, but Gen Z especially is digitally native. They haven't lived without a phone. They are online. They're present on multiple channels. So this one was a really cool one to dive into. And trends shaping social media. Younger generations view alcohol similar to how our generations viewed cigarettes. There is this slightly negative connotation because they grew up just so hyper aware of health benefits and just getting tons of information all of the time. However, they love to socialize and they on social media. Sometimes I have Gen Z children. A child. She goes places just to take a picture at a pop-up shop. Sometimes I'm like, are you paying attention to everything that's around you? Or did you go for a background and a lighted wall and just to say you were there? It's being in the moment. It's that FOMO. They don't want to miss anything. And not anything that's curated and aesthetic. They are very, very into. So it's a unique opportunity to draw people in for this exclusivity and this, you know, you don't want to miss out on this event that's just beautiful and it just looks so pretty and it's curated. So I just love that about this trend. If we go to the next slide. So social media aesthetics, no one is doing this better right now than Seedlip. Their packaging is gorgeous. Their visuals on their site is just so beautiful. If you see the image below of the cocktail, it just looks, everything is perfectly curated to look beautiful and look just like you're capturing this moment that maybe other people aren't able to. So with social media, though, obviously comes comments. It comes people kind of digging into your brand a little and what you stand for and your mission, and they hold you accountable. They are extremely intelligent and they have preferences. And when you have a mission and when you don't align or you skew, they will find out. So transparency in your brand storytelling, activating that human to human connection and leveraging your consumer insights is a way to keep yourself accountable and Gen Z engaged. They are extremely savvy with, and you have to just keep up with your social media accounts. They will follow you and the trends there. So if we go to the next slide, I thought this was so interesting. So there are pop-ups that were created that had created a bar overnight, and it wasn't even an on-premise like restaurant or hotel bar, but they were curated spaces and themed events that just come for a limited time only. And brands like Johnny Walker, they created this secret location and this rush to find out where this location was to drive people to come, because once they were full and that was it. And it was just like you were part of this movement that nobody else was a part of. So they are actively engaged with all of their accounts. Alcohol brands need to embrace their desire for experiences, social sharing, pop-up shops, exclusive events, influencer collaborations are big. They don't need to drink to feel cool, but they do need to feel included. So I think that's a huge takeaway from from this trend. And then these are brands that are doing a great job in the next slide of curating these really special spaces. Campari, during the holidays, built out this beautiful pop-up, and consumers are increasingly looking for fun activities and experience in the on-premise as well, not just taking things home. Everybody's kind of sick of being home from COVID. They want to get out again, but they don't want to stay too long. So these are the perfect experience. There's stations set up. You could go to each station, experience everything they have to offer, and then call it a night when it's time. 20% of on-premise consumers are typically visiting experiential bars. They are really into it. Experience-led channels represent a huge growth opportunity for brands. 66% of bar goers visit monthly, and 42% weekly. They're visiting on-premise. So it's especially during the holidays, holiday gatherings are coming up. It's a great time to build out something beautiful and lasting and shareable. The more exposure, the better. These are some of the things I was talking about with Jack Daniels. Fireball has done these secret brand activations for Cinco de Mayo. They've had the tequila piñatas, Contro. Bud Light came out with lime and orange flavors, and they put them together in a ball pit. Just beautiful spaces that feel unique, that feel exclusive, that really get people in through the door. Belvedere with the lemons trees, I thought that was just so adorable.
I love that one.
And a lot of this started from dry January, having to get people on premise during January when people were not coming in. So they're like, okay, how do we get people into the bar if they're really not looking to drink? So they created these spaces. Zero Proof is one of the brands that did it. They utilized social media platforms to showcase their brand story, came up with a pop-up. They did a mixology to teach people that maybe are unfamiliar with Zero Proof liquor how to make these cocktails that taste the same without the effects during dry January, so they could still socialize, they could still visit, but they're not technically drinking.
It's really smart.
Yep. And then other ways to engage. Okay, this is one of my favorites. Drinking and driving is a huge no-no. Drinking responsibly, top of the list of, I'm sure, every single alcohol brand out there. But the caveat, if you are a no alcohol beer, racing is now a possibility for you when it wasn't before. Heineken 0.0 is now partnered with Formula One. They rolled out an entire Drive Safely campaign. They have out of home, they have gaming, they have obviously at Formula One events, and it is a huge success for them. It's gotten rolled out in multiple events, multiple countries, and now people could enjoy gaming under the partnership of Heineken, where this partnership never could have existed without a non-alcohol brand under their belt. And then just ways to engage with them. A true transparency in your branding. I'm so sorry. Transparency in your branding, being honest with your mission, and socially shareable events, just bringing people together in ways that are exciting and fun and super exclusive and unique.
That's really insightful. Thank you. No, thank you for taking us through that. I really love the Heineken activation, by the way. I think that's really clever of them. They found a way to now be part of like racing, which is really cool.
Which would have been, could you imagine saying that Heineken partnered with a race car 20 years ago?
I know. It's really cool. The last trend we'll talk about is sustainability. So, what does sustainability have anything to do with the alcohol industry and Gen Z? Well, first, as we all know, Gen Z are laser focused on sustainability. And of course, That means they're judging every brand that they're buying and making purchase decisions based on sustainability plans and commitments. Greenwashing is a big turnoff. That's when a company is making claims about their environmental impact, trying to make it look like they're super environmentally focused, making lots of pledges, like eliminating waste in packaging, for example. But those claims end up being completely unproven. I'm sure you all know, brands have to be transparent and genuine about their sustainability efforts. So the numbers are actually pretty staggering. 91% of Gen Z say they want to buy from sustainable companies, and 77% are willing to pay premium for more sustainable products. But at the same time, 40% of Gen Z buyers think companies are not doing enough to reduce their carbon footprint. There are some really mind-blowing things that spirits brands in particular have done to accompany this cohort. One example I've come across that I love is this idea of refillable pouches, meaning you buy a bottle for the first time, and then when you run out, you simply go online, order a pouch of alcohol to refill that bottle. Shows up in the mail, you recycle the pouch, super easy. And it's not like there's one brand doing this. There are a number of spirits brands that offer the option to go online and order a refill pouch of gin or vodka. There are even subscribe and save options here too. It's really smart. I mean, it's great for the environment, but it also lowers production costs, solves a huge problem if there's even like a glass shortage, which Jen, you and I saw a couple of years ago for some clients, right? But in the consumer's minds, you're also being super respectful to the planet. So yeah, well done.
Yes.
With that in mind, Gen Z are making some major behavioral changes to be more environmentally friendly, like cutting back on driving, avoiding fast fashion, and even changing their diets. Very common marketing tactic in this industry that poses a problem for a lot of alcohol brands with Gen Z is something called VAPs, or you can say VAPs. It stands for value added packaging. You can see an example on the right. This is basically when a brand has a gift set with their bottle and it comes in a box with like a branded mug or a shot glass. I've seen some very elaborate VAPs that include like a free mini speaker. I've seen mixers and jiggers. I've seen sunglasses. But the market has become increasingly aware of how these have an impact on the environment, right? Because in their mind, this type of value add is eventually just going to end up in a landfill and creating waste. Also, Gen Z, as Jen mentioned earlier, value and create experiences way more than things anyway. So, just keep that in mind if you're thinking about creating a gift set or a value add that is offering a premium, some sort of physical item. It could really backfire on you, especially with Gen Z. Something else that blew my mind, was to see some brands pushing the boundaries to even be carbon negative, like Air Vodka, who actually have developed a way to distill vodka from our atmosphere to create ethanol. Their website says they source like CO2 in these big tanks from industrial plants before it gets shot into the atmosphere. And then through these many processes, they separate all the components to make like paraffins, methanol, and then ethanol to make the final spirit. So really incredible, what's possible nowadays. But at the end of the day, it's important to pick a sustainability strategy. For example, if that's, reducing waste and replacing a VAP, there are so many options that would resonate better with consumers. Maker's Mark, interestingly enough, has considered environmental stewardship as a core focus of theirs for decades. They operate on renewable solar power. They have a zero landfill initiative among many, many other initiatives, but they've also been replacing their VAPs, their gift sets, with added value experiences. So on the left, you can see how they switch their holiday gift set for an added value reward. In this case, it's a free movie rental to celebrate the holiday cheer, create moments for families to actually come together and share this great movie, but also show consumers that they value their loyalty. And that's TLC specialty, our core focus to help brands, add greater value through experiences, excite consumers, increase sales and engagement, all in the process.
I think it's great to just bring awareness that it's not a one or the other. So you don't have to be sustainable and then cut out just still rewarding your customers and engaging with them that way, or creating a special moment like you would with a toast of a glass. You could still have that movie. It's November, Christmas movies are in full force. They were still able to give that holiday festive environment and curate that time together and that night in and enjoying and celebrating, probably with product, but without the waste.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we hope this session was really helpful and inspiring for everyone who's watching. Again, please feel free to drop us a note, email us. It's hi.there@tlcworldwide.com. If you want to learn more about TLC Worldwide and how we can amplify your marketing initiatives with our experiential rewards, we'd love to provide some free ideas. But yeah, we appreciate your time. Jen, thank you so much for joining. It was a ton of fun.
Yes, this was great. Thank you, guys. Hope to be hearing from you soon. Take care if you have any questions.
Hope everybody has a great November and a run up to the end of the year.
Have a good one. Bye.